The truth is at 6:30 a.m., we're gonna cut you loose across the biggest, baddest, and toughest mountains we have to offer. I commit. I won't quit. I want to hear it from you. Say it with me. I commit. I won't quit. Get on your feet. Get on your feet. Let's hear it one more time. I commit. I won't quit. One more. I commit. I won't quit. Thank you very much. We're going to hang that medal around your neck tomorrow afternoon. God bless, Godspeed. We'll see you on that finish line. Woo!
Hey, it's Bruce from TPC. I'm here in Leadville, Colorado. I came to race the Leadville Trail 100. This race, it's been on my bucket list for years, but I've never had the chance to actually do it. Finally, this year, I got in through the lottery, so this is my first Leadville ever. I'm super nervous, but kind of excited. I didn't qualify that well. I'm here in the Orange Corral. It is the 6th of 9 corrals. The start time was 6:40 a.m., 25 minutes after the pro men started, which is okay. It gave me some extra time to hit the porta potties, which is always nice. And this race, it's gonna be really, really hard. But before we get into it, let's just get across the start. Now, if you saw some of my Leadville prep videos leading up to this, you might know that the original plan was to camp outside of town in a tent. Now, there's a lot of rain leading up to this race, so if I had done that, I might have died of exposure. Now, fortunately, some kind strangers, they took pity on me. They reached out, offered me couches, spare rooms. I want to give a huge shout out to Carly, who let me stay with her in Leadville. Having like a roof, a bed, and a bathroom in the morning, it made a huge, huge difference because, man, I'm just so bad at camping. It was such a dumb idea. I'm so glad that there are such nice people out there who let me stay with them. But I also just really needed like a chill place to stay because I was super nervous leading up to this race. I was probably more nervous for this than any other race I've done in the last like 5-6 years. And there's a couple reasons for that. Leadville, it's known for having a lot of climbing and some really big climbs. Now, I'm not like the world's worst climber. I'm not great at it. On our fast group rides here at TPC, I'm usually the first one to get spat off on climbs that go longer than 5 minutes. And here at Leadville, there are climbs that last over an hour, over 2 hours sometimes, and that's pretty intimidating. And then there's also the elevation. The race starts above 10,000 feet, and then it climbs above 12,000 feet. That is super high. And I know from experience, I don't do well at altitude. I get lightheaded, dizzy, nauseous, I get headaches. I just don't perform that well. So I had to do a couple things to kind of put my mind at ease. The first is I set a really realistic, attainable goal, and that was to finish in less than 10 hours. Now, I arrived at this by using my Silver Rush finish time. If you haven't seen my Silver Rush video, do check that out. I get completely wrecked in that race, but I could use my finish time to sort of estimate what I might finish Leadville in. Using like a multiplier, I figured, I could finish in 9.5 to 10 hours maybe, so that was my goal. But how would I achieve that? That's the second part, and that was my pacing plan. It's really, really simple. I just went really, really easy, almost comically easy. I was going so slow. Look at this, I'm getting gapped. People were dropping me, passing me. There are guys behind me freaking out at this point. They want to get past really bad, and I'm not doing anything. This was the plan. Essentially, I crunched some numbers. I kind of figured out where my power zones are above 10,000 feet. And I realized, if I'm gonna ride for 10 hours, then I need to probably put out a normalized power between 170 and 180 watts. That's really low. That's like an endurance ride, maybe even a recovery ride for a lot of people. And you know, that made things really simple. I just treated the first part of this race like a recovery ride, and I enjoyed myself. It was really, really nice.
That could be a lot worse. Oh my God, that wasn't bad at all.
I know. Yeah. Lovely, actually. So I am trying to stay totally chill here. This is the road descent right after Carter Summit. I'm not pedaling. I'm just dropping my dropper, gripping my bars in the center where they're taped up, getting aero, and I can hit like 40 miles an hour without really trying. You'll see my shadow. Yep, getting all tucked. And I'm trying to expend as little energy as possible. This was the plan. The whole first half, if I was breathing hard, I was riding too hard. And what I want to do is save as much energy as possible for the trip back, you know, the back half of the race. And the reason is, you know, I've experienced this before at Silver Rush. 20 miles in, I was blown up. Now, Leadville, it's a lot longer, 105 miles. If I blow up at mile 20, I'm screwed. So I need to take it easy. And you'll see, you know, I'm watching my power, trying to keep it, you know, in range. And when I see it go too high, I back off.
Chill, chill.
Yep, chill, chill, chill. Trying to keep everything under 200 watts. Just enjoy the view. You'll see I'm starting to film stuff with my iPhone here, because unfortunately my GoPro battery, it died after like 30 minutes. I don't know, it went bad or something, which is unfortunate because it means I didn't get any footage of the Powerline descent, which was probably my favorite part of the day. It's steep, it's rough, it's rowdy. If you are confident on a mountain bike, you can gain a lot of time there. Now, I grabbed another battery here at Twin Lakes where I met my wife. She got me 2 fresh bottles, more gels, I drank her Coke. I was feeling really, really good. And Twin Lakes, it's awesome. There's so many people here cheering. It feels really cool. And then we also got word to watch out for riders coming the other direction. You see this moto coming? This means that the pros, they're already on their way back, which is crazy. Twin Lakes, it's at mile 43-ish, and on the way back, it's at mile 60 something. So that's how far ahead the pros are of us. And I bet you can guess who is in the lead right now. You're gonna see him in just a sec, so let's wait.
Yeah, Keegan! Oh, massive gap.
Man, it was so cool seeing Keegan going warp speed in his drop bars. This guy's a rando, he's not a pro. But he had such a huge gap.
Yeah, Cole! Who was that in second?
I don't know, I didn't recognize him. This is like one of the coolest things about this race. You know, I follow a lot of these pros, Keegan, Cole, Lachlan Morton, Dylan Johnson, Matt Beers, Hannah Otto, Sarah Sturm, Sophia, and I've never met them in real life, but here I get to see them blow by me while they're racing. It's really, really cool. You're gonna see a lot of them in this section, so let's just like see who comes by. Franklin. Back gears on the front. All right, so that guy in white, that's Petra Vakoch. I definitely didn't pronounce that right, I think, but he was riding with a flat front tire. I don't think that thing was even on the rim, and he came down the entirety of Columbine with that thing. That's pretty wild. But here we are on the road leading to the start of the Columbine climb. This is the big climb. In the middle of the race, it goes above 12,000 feet. This is where I expect stuff to start hurting. But this is where my super conservative pacing plan seems to start paying off. I'm not going any harder than I was earlier in the race. I'm still sort of hitting those like easy 170 to 180 watt efforts, and I'm passing people. I'm not really trying to, but it seems like there's a lot of people starting to really suffer on this climb, and I'm stoked. I'm like just cruising and, you know, passing person after person. I'm like, I am so smart. I did this so right. But then we hit this. This is sort of the top bit of Columbine. It's a lot looser, a lot rougher, a lot steeper. Some people, I think they call it the goat trail. This point, it's starting to get hard. Like my cadence is dropping. I'm still keeping that power of, you know, below 200 watts. But I'm starting to think, ooh, maybe I should think about walking soon. You can see all these riders, they're all walking. Obviously, it, you know, expends less energy than pedaling. So at some point, I gotta make the call. I need to get off my bike and hike, but I'm still going. And there's a line of people behind me trying to ride up it too. They're going like, keep going, dude, keep going. And I'm like, okay, I don't wanna let you down. I think I can keep going, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. And I stay on my bike for a pretty long time, which is pretty cool.
Keep going. Nice. There's Connor. Wait, who is that? Steve Tucker! Go Steve!
Yeah, dude. You got it.
So I am really starting to feel the burn now. I can like see this really steep and loose section up ahead. There's a lot of people walking on it, clogging it up, and I'm like, this is a good time to get off. So I do.
Go over for a minute.
And that was a good decision, because I kind of experienced that silver rush. The moment I got off, I kind of realized, oh, the altitude is really hitting me. I'm kind of getting woozy. My head is hurting. I'm getting a little nauseous. I keep pushing my bike up, and then I hit this like sort of smoother section. I get back on, I start pedaling, and I can look up and I can see this climb. It goes on forever. Holy crap. There's like so many riders so far up the hill still. Oh my gosh. It is so difficult at this point. But I'm just gritting my teeth, trying to stay on my bike, trying to keep going. This guy, oh my gosh, so awesome. People are so amazing. I can't believe this guy is like, he was ahead of me in this race this whole time. What a badass. But then I get to the top here. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad. I'm gonna turn my camera off in a second because I need to vomit. I like ate a gel and it came right back out. That's kind of what happens at altitude. So I smashed that Coke. Oh man, I just need to like get my head together. So I'm trying to take some deep breaths and regain like some level of composure, I decided to just start rolling down the descent, which the top of the Columbine descent, pretty cool. You know, you see everyone coming up the other direction. Everyone is cheering for each other. It's fast, it's loose. You can't really let it rip because there's so much traffic. So I'm trying to stay safe, you know, make, you know, smart passes, not get into trouble, and then just try to recover as much as I can. When I can, I'm actually sitting down. I have, you know, a full suspension bike, so I can do chill things like that when stuff's rough. And, you know, this was pretty safe, but there were, you know, a couple times where I had maybe a close call, which you'll see in a second.
Yo, 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 yo! Okay.
Anyway, I thought this was a lot of fun. Some people like recognized me and called out to me, like, I'm sorry I couldn't see you, like just kind of zeroed in on everything in front of me, but so rad. Like, I've never like felt a vibe like this sort of in a race. You know, you hit this halfway point and everyone just sees each other. I'm kind of trying to, you know, go as fast as I can without exploding. So eventually when I catch like a group of riders where like I'm like, this pace is pretty good. Like maybe I could go faster, but you know, there's no point in taking any unnecessary risks. So I kind of just chill and enjoy this super long descent. You might see a rider up there trying to fix a puncture. Maybe this is a good time to plug some of the products I'm using. I've got Vittoria tire inserts, the Airliner XC, very lightweight. I was able to smash a lot of rocks with no issues. I've got the Silka Ultimate Tubeless Sealant. It's what I used at Unbound Gravel. It sealed many punctures for me. And I had the Vittoria Peyote XC tires. Very fast, very confidence inspiring in the corners here. Overall, I was very happy with my setup. I was able to not rail these corners, but, you know, not stress about them either. Oh, and you see I just wiped my camera off. I had no idea that there was like mud on the lens. Sorry about that. They're on my handlebars. I can't really see them. At this point, I am rolling back toward Twin Lakes where my wife is to get a couple more fresh bottles. I really want to drink a Red Bull right now because I have a killer headache. It's just kind of what happens to me when I go to altitude. My head hurts. And I just want caffeine to make it go away because my head is throbbing. It is so annoying, and I don't know. I need to train more at altitude or something. I need to figure out why I suck so bad whenever I go this high. But for now, I'm just going to slam some caffeine, eat some candy, and try to, you know, get my head back.
I need that Red Bull.
Yeah.
My head is killing me.
You are just before your late window time here, so you might have to.
So I inhaled a Red Bull, I inhaled a Coke, I stuffed my face full of candy, then I got on my bike and I kept riding. This guy caught me on the right here. He is a TPC blog reader, so he recognized me. And he's like, yo, Bruce, let's try to work together. And I was like, okay, and I couldn't.
Yeah, dude, you're going too hard for me already. Yeah, go, man. Yeah.
So maybe I could have put in a little more effort to hang on, but man, I had to do like high 200, 300 watts, and I was like, nah, this is not the plan. So I let him go. Fortunately, we hit a descent like right after, and I get back on. And this is really fortunate for me because this whole section from Twin Lakes to Pipeline to Outward Bound, there was a headwind. This is like, you know, something that happens on the return journey a lot is you hit a headwind, so it's really good to be with a group where you can sort of like rip turns. But at this point, this is when the race like really started for me. I was starting to hurt, the sun was up, I was feeling hot, and my perceived effort was going up and up and up. But this is why I went so easy in the beginning of the race. Because, oh, this guy, really quickly, single speeder, look at that, single speed belt drive. This dude was so strong. Single speeders, you guys amaze me. You can see I'm just sucking wheel. I'm trying not to work. He's breaking the wind for me. Oh my gosh, so impressive. Anyway, I went super easy in the beginning, knowing that coming back, it'd be a lot harder, but I could still hit the same numbers. The whole goal was to be consistent across the entire race. So even though stuff is feeling a lot harder than it did in the beginning, I'm still hitting the same power numbers. And hopefully that means I'm gonna hit my time goal as well. So after I left Pipeline there, I got to enjoy this lovely, lovely view. But I also was using Siri on my iPhone to text my wife because I was like hurting. I needed her to come from Twin Lakes to the Outward Bound and meet me at the Outward Bound aid station because I needed something. I needed a gel, I needed a Coke. The altitude from climbing to the top of Columbine, it hurt me so bad and I felt terrible. I didn't get it on camera, but she gave me a Coke and I drank it and I threw it up immediately. But after that, I kind of felt better. I kind of had like a second wind, so I was like, oh, okay, maybe everything is fine. I get to this turn here, and this is where, you know, a lot of people say the crux of Leadville is. This is the Powerline climb. Now, I had a goal within a goal here. You know, I had a finish time goal, but I also wanted to clean Powerline. That means riding to the top with no dabs, without getting off and walking. And that's because everyone I talked to at TPC who's done Leadville, they told me they've cleaned the Powerline. So I was like, shoot, I have to do it too. I can't be the one who doesn't clean Powerline. So that was my goal. And then I turned this corner and I'm like, oh no.
Oh my god. Oh fuck.
There we go.
Yes. More, let's go.
You can see that climb just looming. It's so intimidating. It's so steep. I was dreading it. Here is the steep part. I was pedaling maybe, my cadence was maybe 40, 50 RPM. I was going so slow. I'm going to shut up in just a second so you can, you know, enjoy my suffering. But I do want to point out up ahead, you'll see a tandem. On the back of that tandem is Doc. If you watch other Leadville videos, you might recognize him as the guy usually holding the American flag at the start of the race. He was riding a tandem this year, and I am so impressed that they made it this far up this climb, because climbing on a tandem is really hard. Good effort, guys.
Oh my God. You good? Yeah. Hey, you're cool.
Yeah. Strong, dude.
Yeah.
Rider. Yay! I cleaned the steepest section of Powerline, but it's not over yet. That section, it took a lot of focus, just to keep the pedals turning, just to keep the rear tire from slipping out, just to stay on like the right line so I don't fall off my bike. I get here and I can rest a little bit, recover, and then there's a little downhill, but then there's like 2.5 miles more of the climb, and it's a lot rockier and looser than that section, but fortunately it's less steep. And this is the sort of terrain that I feel pretty confident on. I'm not fast, but I'm pretty positive that I'm not going to have to dab or walk or anything. And oh yeah, I come in with a lot of speed and I put in a pretty bad pass.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah, I ended up rubbing shoulders with that guy. I'm sorry, dude, but that I didn't mean to do that. But anyway, this climb, it took quite a while. The conditions got really bad later on, which you'll see, but all I had to do was just suffer for like 30, 40 more minutes, and I would accomplish my little goal within the goal. Hailing. Oh my god, it's fucking hailing. So that got pretty intense. Not only was it steep, loose, and rocky, but I got rained on, I got hailed on a little bit, I was freezing, but fortunately by the top the sun came out. I did it. I accomplished my goal within a goal. Unfortunately, you know, because of all the rain, my lens got covered in mud. So all of my footage from the Sugarloaf descent, totally unusable, which is a huge bummer because that descent was so rad. You know, again, like Powerline descent, you know, outbound, if you're a confident mountain biker, you can gain a lot of time there, which I did. I ended up alone on that road going, you know, toward Carter Summit. Here, I've already passed Carter Summit. Now, a lot of my footage here, you'll see it's really blurry. That's just, you know, I was too tired to like really think. I didn't think to wipe it off with my hand. So a lot of it looks like this. I'm gonna salvage what I can, but while we're watching me sort of roll toward the finish in these last 15 miles, I just want to say, oh, this guy. Man, I really hope that guy finished. He had a totally blown up rear tire. I don't know if his wheel was okay, but maybe he walked. I don't know. But I want to talk about, you know, ultimately my normalized power at the end of the race was 179. So I kind of nailed it, I think. I'm super proud with how consistent I stayed throughout the entire day. At this point in the race, I am miserable. I am so tired. My perceived effort, it feels massive, but I'm still putting out the same power I was putting out at the very beginning of the day, which was the entire goal. All I have to do is just put my head down and kind of suck it up, and I'll make it to the finish eventually. Now at this point, we're on some roads that I don't recognize because the finish does like a lollipop. You don't hit the same roads you hit at the start. So this descent I don't recognize, this road I don't recognize. I catch this guy in pink. We try to work together. I'm on. And I am struggling so hard to hold this guy's wheel. He asked me to do a turn later, and I can't even hear him. My head is spinning. I get on the front and try to put in a turn, and it is the weakest turn you've ever seen.
Okay. I didn't catch that. What was that? Yeah, sure, man.
Now, at this point, we're gonna come up toward this climb called the Boulevard. This is the last kicker before you head into town, and I completely forgot about this. I didn't remember it existed.
Ah, fuck, it doesn't end.
So that completely broke my spirit. I'm crawling these last few miles toward the finish. I am so sad. I just want to be done, but still putting out the same power numbers, so all is well in the end. I hit my goal time. Fortunately, you don't have to look at this blurry image anymore because my wife did get a little cell phone shot of me finishing. Let's see how that looks. Wow, I was cooked. You can see I just completely died right before the line. I'm so tired, I don't even realize that this person is trying to hang this metal around my neck. They touch me, I'm like, oh, what's happening? But, you know, I'm pretty happy with my result. I finished in 9:36, so pretty much, you know, my goal was 9:30 to 10. I did it. I think with some dedicated training, I could hit that magical sub 9 and get that big belt buckle. I would love to do that someday. I do want to shout out a couple of my coworkers. Chase, if you watch some of my earlier Leadville videos, Chase was one of my coworkers doing this with me on the same bike. He smoked me. He finished in 8:19, but we all knew you were going to do it, Chase, whatever. Abby, I want to shout out Abby. Oh my gosh, she finished this year, and that means she is still in the lead challenge. The next day she ran the 10K, So all she has left to complete the full series is the 100-mile run. Insane. It is so inspiring. I think next year I might... No, I'm never going to try it. Holy crap.